Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys being here. It's been a while since I've dropped a video. It's been about 6 months. Um, Maybe a little longer now, actually. Last time I checked the channel, it's been 6 months. I was making For Honor content. I still plan on making For Honor content. I'm just moving forward with my channel. I want to make more content for other games as well. That's what I mentioned in a couple past videos. MK1 is here. I've been playing it. I love it. One of my favorite fighting games. So, I want to go over one of my favorite characters in this game, Reiko. He is a interesting character to say the least. He's the only grappler in the game. He also happens to be one of the best zoners in the game, if you believe that. It's a weird combination, but he does have the combination of being one of the best zoners and also being a grappler. So, I do want to go over some information about him that I figured out, and I want to just kind of get like not extreme detail, but into some detail to get people situated with this character. If you want to play him, if you're thinking about playing Reiko, I want this video to be the video for you. I also want people to kind of get a more understanding of how to play NRS games if you're still like new to the game or new to any NRS game in general. Um, I want people to kind of find their footing. I will be going over other videos with other characters. Today is just Reiko because I like Reiko. He's probably my second most played character, maybe my number one at this point. Um, and I think he's very fun. I think he has a lot of things to offer. So let's go over them. All right, guys. So we are here, and I want to basically go over a couple different aspects of this character. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I want to just cover Reiko. I want to get y'all, situated in how to use him and what I believe to be the best game plan for him. But also, if you're interested in learning like simple combos, I will be doing that as well. So, the main thing for me when it comes to Reiko is the fact that he happens to be one of the best zoners in the game. This is extremely fast full screen. I mean, compared to most of the zoning tools in this game, this is one of the fastest. Um, he also happens to have an EX version that gives him a higher height to the shurikens, and those shurikens will catch opponents jumping depending on how far they are. If they're real close, it's possible, or most likely they'll get hit. If they're like at a good distance and they jump at the right time, they're not, they can really get out of it. But it has great momentum and also range and height. So the fact that he's one of the best zoners in the game can actually set you up for some pretty weird game style of play. Um, you can just zone somebody for the whole game and just be one of those people. Really, I don't think that's the best way to play this character, but some people don't believe in learning as much as possible, so they just do what works. But this is always a mix-up option. After you hit a couple of these, you can always run up, let go slide as soon as you're like right in front of them. Most people won't block it for some reason. I guess because they're like, oh, they think you're gonna like already be sliding like that far. If you just run up to like right in front of them and slide every once in a while, I wouldn't say do it all the time, but if it doesn't catch them the first time, they don't do it anymore. But if it catches them once or twice already, it's like, that's enough. Um, Reiko also has a weird mechanic with his slide. It's understandable and it makes sense on how it works, but I kind of don't feel like it's always the best thing to do. But this helps you if you are trying to do that and you see them blocking already ahead of time. What you could do is cancel, and if you if you actually cancel the run earlier, you're most likely going to be a little more safe. But that also depends on your reaction speed and the capability of like understanding what the opponent's doing. If you just so happen to think that you're not ready to just start canceling like that, um, you could actually time your slide to a point where you're not plus, but you're safe because you're this far away. Like most characters in the game aren't gonna have anything fast enough to reach you at that range. Um, Even Reiko probably wouldn't. I mean, maybe his back three, because it's pretty far. But like, if you time it right, if you time the slide right, like just the edge of Reiko's foot will hit the block, and you'll be pretty far. And you'll have enough time to block like instantly, pretty much. Like it's not that crazy. If you do block or if you do slide wrong like that, you're gonna get punished. Like I don't know if you can see kind of like the difference between the get up frames, like from here to being right in front of them. It just like it's easy to punish, but if you like kind of get it at that sweet spot, like you're more likely to escape. Especially if you're fighting like someone who doesn't have big buttons. I wouldn't say use this as a normal tactic, but it works if you do want to just mix that around. Another thing that Reiko has is he probably has the best. Well, he's one of the best at controlling neutral. So the fact that he can hit at this range is pretty good, and he can combo from this range. He can combo from that range and this range. So it's pretty nice. It's very useful in a lot of situations, especially whenever you're fighting somebody who's trying to get in the whole time. They're trying to like get in your face, set you up for staggers, set you up for mix. Reiko is a good punish character, so if you see somebody running at you, you can always backstep, hit them with a back three. If you backstep it right, hit a back three, you can always punish somebody who's pushing you. It's a great tool, back three. Forward is pretty nice too if you're just trying to push them full screen so you can get a little bit of zoning. Back three actually does combo into his shurikens, so that is something else. If you feel like they're not going to respect your back three, they know it's coming or something and they block it, you could do that. You can also EX it just in case you think they're going to neutral duck. Another thing you could do is you could do slide, but really it's never safe. Like it's probably like the least likely thing you should do out of anything else. I mean, before that I would say use cameo, but Darius isn't a great cameo for that. But he does have like some pretty decent options. Like you can do this and you can get a mix going. At the same time though, it depends on how much respect you get the opponent in, like how much conditioning you do to the opponent to where they actually respect your strings and they respect what you're throwing out. But we'll talk about staggers in a second. Another tool I would say is if you have the opponents jumping at you. Yeah, so standing three will hit almost any opponent from any height. I mean, as long as they're like relatively near you. Even back three hits when they're above your head. Like the hitbox is ginormous. So another way you can combo is like that. As long as you do like normal stuff like standing one always works. You could do. Hold on, let me turn the frame down. But yeah, you could do like a full combo punish pretty much from this. And I'm trying to get. I always hate that this isn't on already. There we go. Yeah, you can do that. You can do standing four. Standing four also works. Yeah, it's weird anti-air stuff he has, but it's pretty good. It's pretty universal. It works like almost all the time. So you get 320 for standing four, like the full thing. You do the whole thing. Get around a little bit over 370. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Really, Reiko does have probably one of the best anti-airs in the game because of that. Because he normally will get like you can just throw it out and hit people, and it's not too hard to time. It doesn't even. It's sometimes. I mean, it'll hit opponents standing too, and you can always combo into that. Another thing too that Reiko really strives in, and I feel like he's a little underrated because of it. Like, because I feel like most people don't use it. is the fact that, like I said before, he's a great punish character. Like, his strings are just meant for punishing. Like, everything he does is just to punish. And he gets crazy damage for, punishing people. 41%, one bar. I mean, obviously double cameo because of Darius, but still, 41%. That's pretty good. And he got nerfed. That's post nerf, 41%. So that's not bad. Um, he has like really fast punish tools like this. 2-1. 2-1 is really fast at punishing. Like if somebody throws something really unsafe at you and you block it, automatically do 2-1. 2-1, it's back forward 3 up, or back forward 3 up is the input to get knee to come out. You can also do back forward back. That also works. And yeah, you get a full combo punish for this right here. 1-2 actually can do the same, but I think the scaling is worse if you hit 1-2, because I never really use 1-2 unless I'm like trying to mix between 2-1, because 2-1 will give you this. It'll give you a low option at the end, and then 1-2 kind of gives you like it's not safe. It's like -2 on block, but it's something else to like for the opponent to think about. It's not a high or overhead. It's a mid at the end. Kind of wish it was an overhead, because then he would actually have real mix. He would have this low, and then he would have an overhead. But he has this as the overhead, which is nice. I mean, that knockdown is crazy. It sets you up for a lot of things. Like automatic get-ups. You can really do some dumb stuff with that. But going back to the topic of his neutral and the spacing tools he has, you really get like different type of game plans for him depending on how you want to play him. Like I said, I really think the best way to play him is playing him with like a good amount of spacing in neutral and punish game. If you have the right spacing in neutral, you're gonna get big damage. Like I just got a 46%, and it's not crazy high, obviously, because they've been nerfing characters and making damage a lot lower, but it's still pretty good. And obviously, other cameos can like optimize them a little better. I mean, Darius seems to be the most optimal, but now people are finding out that Goro might be more optimal, or there's just like a bunch of different people talking about different things. In my opinion, it's Darius and Striker. Those are my two favorite pickups for Reiko, because Darius gives the big damage, and Striker gives insane mix and good restand, which I'll go over in a future video. I'm gonna cover like different cameo selects for him, but yeah, for right now, just covering the tools, and really that's kind of it for his neutral coverage. I mean, yeah, 3, 4. It's a pretty good one. A lot of people aren't going to get hit by the 3, but they'll get hit by the 4 most likely. So that's something. I wouldn't throw it out neutral like that. Like that doesn't really make sense, because you have back 3, and back 3 is a mid, so, and it has the same range. It's going to hit regardless. Like it's going to hit them on block, or it's going to hit them on hit. So forward 4 is another better one. Just remember to keep that in mind. Forward 4 has like a great knockdown. Like it sends them full screen pretty much. And they're flat on their back like that for a while, so you can run up and do some weird stuff. But yeah, I think that's it for neutral. Really now I just want to cover like his strings, like his buttons that I think are like the best to throw out on block. Forward 1 is a good stagger tool. I prefer using forward 1 over 2-1. 2-1 is plus on block. Obviously that sounds like it'd be better, but the fact that 2 is a high, the higher ranks you get into the game, you're gonna start playing people that are gonna be neutral ducking that and poking you constantly. They see you throw a 2-1, they're gonna go down and poke. So I mean, honestly, if like you do manage to get this to come out like the way it is, like if you get the 3 or the 4 to come out at the end, that's a good way to mix it. But really, 2-1 is not too safe. It is, but it isn't. Depending on the opponent you're playing. While forward 1 is pretty, like, it has like a pretty big misconception online, I believe. Like, a lot of people just see it and they wait for it, to come out. Like, they let you stagger them like this. And the people who do that really are not taking advantage of the fact that this is -3 and you're playing online, so there's negative frames, like this frame data that doesn't really apply like how it should. And yeah, you'll get poked out of it. You get picked out of forward 1 like easily. You throw one forward 1 before you can even get the second one out, you're gonna get poked. So if you actually have an opponent that's respecting forward 1, I would say go forward 1 and then do a command grab, forward 1 and then throw forward 2, forward 1, back 4. All these options are great to stagger with. You could definitely get a lot out of that. Depending on what option actually hits, like if a forward 2 hits, you can always mix that into something else. You can just do a lot of mixing with it. Forward 2, back 4, back 4, forward 2. Like it works a lot. I know it doesn't even look like anything that's that good, but it really does work. There's a lot of opponents that don't know how to read this fast enough, which is like understandable. And then at a certain point, they'll probably start mashing or throwing out like a special move so they can get an armor wake up. And that's where you kind of try to bait them. So like you maybe hit like 3 of these and you know it's coming, so bait them. Another thing you can do that I think is one of the better things to do on block is actually land. If you land the forward 1, you can do forward 1, 2 after landing like 2 of these, and then see how they react. I mean, if they get hit with forward 1, 2, 3, or forward 1, 2, 4, yeah, you're gonna be negative, but like since you're online, you can actually block most of the time. And if anything, they're gonna poke you or something. Like you're gonna be negative. Most people aren't gonna take advantage of that yet, unless like you get into the higher ranks, and then people will take advantage because they play a lot of Reikos. But yeah, it's a risk game for him. His stagger game isn't the greatest, but he can set a lot of people up if they're not aware. Also, best case scenario, stagger 1, stagger 2, and get this command grab, because the command grab is going to give you the most damage at the end of the day. You're going to be able to get a full combo for it, so it's pretty nice being able to have this option, because it's like a guaranteed, like it's guaranteed damage after you get the command grab. So it's 327 damage. Like that's pretty good for not having to really mix too hard, work too hard for it. Another thing too is kind of getting, I guess, used to using Reiko's other options, like back 2. So back 2 isn't like a #1 block tool you want to use, but back 2 has a lot of capability. It's +8 on block, so you can actually do a lot of stuff out of this. Normally, I would say like if you want to jail, just do down 1 after it. That's probably your best option. But really, if you feel like this is like they're already respecting you, back 3 or back 2 into 2-1 is gonna be a combo starter for sure. Like I've hit so many people with this. It's like a guaranteed thing if you use it at the right time. If you don't spam it, like if you're spamming this until it hits, they're not gonna just let that happen. So yeah. Don't try back 2 into forward 1. It's too slow. I mean, it could work, but really, if the opponent's like one of these people who's always doing this, like literally always, like that's not gonna work. So, really now I'm just gonna go ahead and start showing you guys like a couple of combos you can get started. I feel like you've already seen a couple now since I've made since I've been showing you guys a couple things here. But the biggest combo damage that I've seen with Darius right now that I've been able to do is getting started with back 3. Yeah, back 3 into knee, into 3-4, into Darius, into another command grab. That's with 1 bar. Use 2 bars, you'll get the 46%. Well, actually, if you use 3 bars, because they make command grab 2 bars, which is, in my opinion, I think dumb. Like, I think it's just bad because only because of the fact that they nerfed the damage on it, so they might as well just make it 1 bar. But for some reason they feel the need to, I don't know, keep it 2 bars. I don't know if it's like a balancing factor they really want to keep in play, but I really don't think it makes sense. Yeah, so you're gonna use 3 bars and your 2 cameo slots to get 46%. In my opinion, it's not the greatest, but it works. 46% can give you a lot of damage. It can win the game. So that's something. Another thing too that you can do is always start off with the, because you're gonna be staggering this a lot with the forward 1. So, oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. You're gonna be staggering that forward 1 a lot. So this is gonna hit eventually, and that's what you're gonna want to do. You're gonna hit 3-4 to command grab, or standing 3, or yeah, standing 3 into command grab. So that's an option. Some people do this. It doesn't really give you much more damage. I don't even think it gives you any damage, like more than the regular one. I think it does less damage. But I've seen people do it because I guess it looks cooler. Yeah, so it gives you like 1 damage. Or, yeah, 1 damage. So it's not really, I guess, like the greatest thing. It's a little more optimal. In this game, for some reason, more hits is just going to equal less damage. I don't know why that's the way it works. I don't like that about this game, but other than that, it's a great game. Forward, yeah. So forward 1, 2, 3, or forward 1, 2, 4 is probably your main combo starter. So yeah, just keep that in mind. The other thing too is if you're getting a punish, you see somebody do something or they whiff in front of you, like Johnny. That's another thing too. I love punishing Johnny cages who do the slide thing, or like the kick. I mean. All you have to do is kind of like bait it out, like keep them at range. They'll slide or they'll do the kick at you. Just neutral duck. Just like know it's coming. It's pretty obvious when you see them like inching in, and then you just know when it's gonna come. Okay, trust me, you're gonna see it happening. Neutral duck, stand up 2-1. Literally that. Stand up 2-1. And then you go into knee, and then same B&B. And you get 40%. So that's pretty good too. Other people I've also seen do this. Does less damage. Don't know why people do it. Seen it. I've seen it. It looks cooler, but I don't know why people do it. Yeah, the main thing too. I mean, keep it in mind. Back 3 combos the best. Just keep that in mind, okay? It's the best damage you're gonna get with Reiko and Darius right now at the moment. You're gonna get back 3 as a great punish tool, 46%. You can get more obviously if you do Fatal Blow, but this is non-Fatal Blow combos. So the other thing too is you can always do 1-2 instead of 2-1. That always works. Oh, and I just remembered something too. I should have went over this earlier. I'm gonna go over it really quick because it's not that long. Another thing that you can do, especially if you have no meter, is if you land like a string like that, you can always go into down back 3, and down back 3 actually gives you enough spacing to inch in before they can do anything, and you can actually get a real combo off of that too. So basically, as soon as down back 3 lands and you're on the ground punching them, you can move up forward before they can have like an actual wake up. I mean, they will be able to do like armor wake ups and stuff, but you can kind of bait that. But if they like stand up and they try to like hit you or something, you're already like standing in front of them throwing stuff at them. And a lot of people like to like delay wake up. So if that happens, I mean, just keep throwing out the string. They're either they're gonna be forced to block it, or they're gonna get hit by it because they're gonna mash. So yeah, just throw out forward 1-2, and you're most likely gonna hit. If not, they're gonna block that part. But another thing you can do too is if you're quick enough and you still have Darius assist, you can just do that instead. And that's another thing too. Just a little piece of advice for people who want to use Darius. His standing, this works. You can do that. I don't know if anybody or most people do it. I've never seen many people do it. But if you call Darius with L1 or R1, whatever your button is, and he comes out, you can press it again with the forward direction, and it does the front flip. So that's pretty cool. As long as like they're blocking, it'll hit the second time most of the time, because then you can actually start mixing. Like if I put him on duck, actually stands. There we go. So yeah, you could do something like that. Or actually, why did I put him on duck? I just realized it doesn't make sense. But yeah, they block that. You get full combo for it. It's a great mix. It actually works a lot. Trust me, I've hit that way too many times. Yeah, so something like that will get you guaranteed damage. Doesn't give you a lot, but it's something you can win a game with that much damage. 2800 or 280. So yeah. Right now, I think that's pretty much it for this character. I do also think that, I mean, the command grab is really good. For all those who don't know how to combo into Darius, really all you have to do is command grab and then hold the back direction. So anywhere that's where Reiko is on his back and rolling backwards, just hold that direction and it'll keep the opponent's legs in the air long enough for Darius to hit. So just remember that as long as you don't like call Darius and hold the back direction. So you have to wait until you're at the vertical position, then hold back. So as soon as you see Reiko and like General Shao's head going down towards the ground, right there, at that moment, like as soon as you see his head about to hit the ground, call in Darius. And it's gonna work every time. So that's the timing. I don't know if anybody need help with that, but I hope that helps you. And yeah, that's how you get Darius to connect with Reiko. Also, you can hold the other direction if you want to keep that side or switch sides. Just hold forward and he'll roll forward, but you cannot combo Darius this way. If you hold forward, that body's not going to stay up long enough for Darius to hit him. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, when you hold back after you call Darius. Like, call Darius, hold back. If you do it at the same time, Darius won't come out. But yeah. Really, that's all I wanted to cover, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know if there was anything that I missed or anything else you want covered about this character. I will go over in the future video. The next video I do plan on making is going to be about the cameos that I believe to be the best for Darius. For Reiko. And really, I want to get in more detail with other characters as well. If you're interested in seeing another, you know, I guess like a quick little video on how to play the character, what I believe to be the best tools, let me know in the comment section, and I'll make sure that you guys get that full information. So, hope you guys have a good day. Appreciate you for coming through. Take care. Peace.